Yeah, we vibing, we vibing with Reeves. At you, at you again. That's right, that's right, that's right. And today's gonna be a special day, special night, special evening. Why? Because we vibing with each other. Vibing. And what's the vibes for today? You may ask. You may ask what's the vibe for today? Cool vibes, hip hop vibes, artistic vibes, raw vibes. That's right. Hope you're ready. Hope you're ready. We have an artist in the waiting room who is talented and gifted and talented. They were a hell of a writer. They were a heck of a freestyler. An MC that's dedicated to his craft dedicated, you know, regular dude with extraordinary talents. And he's been the guest on this show before. My peoples and yours. And if he ain't your people, hopefully he'll be after this. T.O. Lestat, that is. T.O. Lestat. Let's do it. Let's do it.
This meeting needs to be recorded. Reeves.
What's going on? How you feel?
Yeah, I'm feeling great, baby. How about you, son?
Feeling wonderful, feeling wonderful. Had a little technical difficulty, but that comes with music technology. Sometimes it happens.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because technology, anything, believe it or not, that enhances your ability to do something is technology. So any basic shovel, writing utensil, plate, all technology.
Exactly, especially when they first came out with it.
Yep. Because what it is when something enhances, when something is created, developed from nothing, creativity. You know what I mean? Like yourself and I, we are creatives. We have that God mode turned on all the time, right? Because we are creating things from nothing. We have the ability to do so. And when you create it, implement it, and make it, and put it out to people, and it enhances their life, it's technology. A lot of people don't know that. They think technology, computers, because we're from that era where our technology when we was in school, was the computer lab and the computers. I mean, I didn't see a computer till 11th grade, but that was technology, right? In the mindset of a lot of people. But anything
Yeah,
that creates a better way of living is considered technology.
yeah, that's one thing. A lot of people don't look at it when you look about the shovels and stuff. But at one point in time, that was some brand new stuff. Anything that's old now, at one point was new.
Factual, and that's what I love about history. You know what I mean? If you don't know, I think you already know, but maybe my fans and people out there that don't know Teal Lestat, you know what I mean? I was a history teacher for 20 years, man, in the Buffalo Public Schools, Phoenix Schools, Glendale, Tullison, private charter schools to help kids get through. And so I taught history. I got my master's in computer science, and so I was in on the technological revolution as it was hitting. You know what I mean? I was doing my master's in oh 06, oh 07. You know what I mean? This is think about it back then, Reeves. Not a lot of people had fucking computers in their houses in 2007. Matter of fact, most people didn't. Cell phones in their hands? No way, man. It was a thing of like the future. Some back to the future shit.
Yeah, I tell people that a lot.
Yep. And so I have an inside understanding one of history because I've studied it my whole life. You know what I mean? I devoted my entire career as an adult to teaching students to appreciate history. And it's paid off for me. I was actually in contact with a couple students 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, actually. Two different students from Buffalo called me and said, Mr. Pitts, I want to let you know this is a time where I'm unsure of myself. I was just getting off homelessness, just got a job, have no money. I ain't seen my kid. I feel like a bum, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
From January when I was released in jail, it took me. I had to start from nothing again, son. You know, you was with me on this whole track. You know what I mean? You've
Yeah,
been there
yeah.
with me. Oh God, you one of the people that talked to me, and we've talked, and we've been working. You know what I mean? This whole time. So you know what I mean. But kids called me, two of them separately, and they're like, Mr. Pitts, I wanted to let you know. Tatiana D, shouts out to her. That's my girl, and she was like, you changed the way I thought about things. I was like, really? You think so? She's like, Mr. Pitts, you impacted and affected thousands of kids in Buffalo. And I was like, wait, wow. You know what I mean? That hit me like never had hit me before, bro. Like, for real, son. Like, you don't think about that shit when you're doing it or the effect of the aftermath. But she said she literally thinks I had to have impacted thousands and thousands of kids in Buffalo, kids I taught and not taught, to think for themselves, to question knowledge, to go out and look for answers, to be themselves. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I got to be honest with you, Tater. That I taught her tater tot. I was like, that fucking, I needed to hear that shit, son. Like, God will put them people right where he needs you when you're starting to doubt, when the devil starts to like really creep in. You know what I mean? God always peeks his head if you're listening. You know what I mean, son? So that was God. That was my inner God bringing to me like, don't fucking quit on yourself, bro. You know what I mean? And so it made me feel good, man, for the first time in a long time.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. But sometimes we don't. An old head taught me this, and I heard a couple people say that after him too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's true that sometimes we don't realize the impact we've had on others.
Phew.
You
It's
don't
a fact,
realize
bro.
whether
That's a
bad
fact.
or negative.
Yeah. And
Sometimes people will tell you, and you'll be like, "Oh snap! I didn't realize."
facts, man. And I'll tell you what was an interesting thought to piggy off that and to broaden this conversation a little more is when I was in both jail and when I was in the mental health rehab in February time, you know what I mean? When I was homeless and I went there to seek out resources, two different people, jail and someone else, told me that you are a reflection of the people you have called your friends your entire life. I said, what you mean by that, yo? And they're like, think about it. You do things in image of them because you've learned their behaviors, what's acceptable, what's not, how you can be, how you can't be, and that's how you present yourself on a day to day. So you're a reflection of all the people you've hung out with. And I was like, man, that's real talk. And he was like, so make sure you're always putting yourself around positive, like-minded, hardworking, God-fearing, real people. Because if you don't, it will reflect in your character, and that's who you become. I was like, man, that's deep ass shit, bro, for real.
Yeah, that's like the old saying goes. Watch who you surround yourself with. They can
Facts.
either lead to your. I always say, watch who you call your friend. They could do one. To me, you say someone's a friend, they could do one of three things. They can
Mm-hmm.
help you maintain the level you're on right now.
Boom.
They can help you rise to the top. Those are
Mm-hmm.
two good things. Or three, they can help lead to your downfall.
That could be your demise, absolutely.
Those
Because yeah,
that's the only three things they can do if they're friend.
yeah, they are a friend because people you don't like, you're not putting yourself around. People you don't trust, you're not with. People that are plastic to you, you keep at a distance, you know what I mean? But people you call your people, and I don't got a lot of them these days. I've learned this over the last 2 years of these struggles since the last interview we've had, actually. I was in Avondale. A lot of shit's been happening since then, you know what I mean? And I've learned that family, friends, a large fucking portion of them are fake, bro. Like they are there when things are good for you and they want to be like, you're doing it. And yeah, but when you're not, some of them flee, or some of them are like, as you become to evolve, because we evolve through life circumstances, hardships, and atrocities that's faced, and good things that have occurred. That's how we evolve, as people, right? What we accept and don't accept. And so I've become my new person, who I am, Teal Lestat, Todd Pitts, Mr. Pitts, for those that know me back in the day. And some people don't like it in my family. It's like, this is who I am, man. This is who I always been, actually. I just am not taking the bullshit from nobody no more. I'm not going to let you push me like I used to, probably. No, no means no. This is what this is. This is what that is. You don't like it, get the fuck out of my face, bro. I don't give a shit. And I hate to be like that, but it's like, I can't surround myself with people that are wanting me to be somebody I'm not and not accepting who I am, because I am me. I am me. I am who I am. You know what I mean? And I change with the times when I need to. You know what I mean? But I can't accept you if you don't like who I am and you want me to be somebody I'm not. I'm not plastic. I'm as real as they come. You know what I mean? And that's part of my characteristics, that I vibe well with people because I'm real with people. I don't beat around the bush. I never beat around the bush. I'm Sicilian from New York, from Buffalo. I don't beat around the bush, man. No minced words, as my grandmother would say.
Yeah, you know what? That's true, but people don't always like when you have boundaries, especially if you haven't had boundaries with them before. It's like, who told you to have boundaries for yourself?
Yeah, like what makes you think all of a sudden now you're not going to allow me to push you around in your life and tell you how to live and what's acceptable and isn't, how you should and shouldn't feel? The fuck out of here, man.
Like, where
Yeah,
you get heart from? No, no, no.
yeah,
I'm gonna run this. People don't like when you want to change them. It's not even changing them, just change how they're able to interact with you.
yeah,
Some
exactly.
people will say, okay, it might take some getting used to, but they'll at least work with it and try.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some people will get you right off the bat and be like, all right, I got you. New program. I'm with it instantly. But I'll
Yeah.
take the people who instantly who get it and the people who will try over the people who want to just give you blowback because that just mean they just want to take advantage.
Right. And if the going doesn't push in their favor, you tend to not see them motherfuckers around no more.
Of
You know, you be,
course.
I'll tell you one thing for real though. Your people, jail, quote, jail felonies. One of my favorite MCs from the West Coast, back in the day, the 90s era. He was boom
Yeah.
bap on the West Coast. I love Jail Felonies album, brother. Fire. He said, your people act funny when you're sitting in a cell. Number one, they do, man. People start to act fucking funny on you, son. Like, the fuck, man. When I need you, when I got a 20-minute, all I got is a 5-minute fucking call for free because I ain't got no money. I'm indigent, you know what I mean? Tell you shit. And you don't pick up the phone. But I call like 5 people and nobody picks up the phone on my free call day. I wait Tuesday, Wednesday, but then I end up selling it for a couple fucking soups. You know what I mean? How that makes a motherfucker feel, bro?
It's gonna make you feel bad.
It makes you feel like shit, man. For real. It really does. And I'm blessed. I had both my brothers picked up constantly when I was in jail. So, we're not getting along very well right now. But again, a butterfly is being born out of this fucking cocoon that I've been in. This fucking how I wrap myself up to get through life type shit. And so I'm
Yeah.
a person. And so that's hard for my brothers to deal with. We're triplets, but I still love them. They're my two best friends in the entire world. Shouts out Trevor and Travis. Shouts out
Shouts out.
Angie. You know what I mean? That's my people. Those are my true to heart people. You know what I mean? And, out of my friends and shit, I got very few left. My boy Code, my buddy Luther Savage, and MCs that I rhyme with. That's it. That's all I really talk to. My man Cracker Rican, you know what I mean? Everybody else,
Y'all
kind of like,
Rican.
yeah, Rican's the boy. That's my boy, son. Own lane, so people act funny when you sit in the cell. And then people even act worse when you're homeless and you don't got shit, bro. Like, you know how much fucking $5 makes a difference when you don't have anything, when you're homeless on the street, you're trying to get ahead, trying to make it through the day, trying to eat today without stealing food, type shit. $5, man, you go buy a whole pack, 2 packs of ramen noodles, you'll eat for 6, 7 days. Dry ramen noodles, you know what I mean? Cold water in a bag, jail type shit. Eating it
Yeah.
with your hands. That's how hungry you get. You know what I mean? People don't realize that.
Yeah, and I was gonna realize
Yep.
if they haven't been through it or know someone that's been through or been close to it being a possibility.
See, here's the thing: close to a possibility is a harsh reminder of how good we have it as hardworking individuals. Because you only have it good if you work hard in this life. Those who don't work hard just settle for whatever's given to them. You know what I mean? That's a fact, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And then there's those who work hard, fail, whether it's mental health, which we're talking about obviously today
Of
because of the
course.
album, But if it's mental health, if it's a soldier, if it's drug addiction, if it's bad relationship, like how I ended up homeless, I have all of those things, but none of those have ever put me on my ass. You know what I mean? It's the fact that I lost everything in a marriage, man, and a divorce that's still fucking haunting me, and my daughter's still not talking. You know what I mean? It's still in my fucking head 3 years later, bro. And so when that took me out, so there's a numerous circumstances that could to break you down. You know what I mean? And that's when you need people the most, man. You really do. You need that. I put it like this: when you're homeless or you don't got nothing, when you're trying to get out of it, the only way you can get out of that shit is think of yourself in a hole. I got my track Dark Hole. So think of yourself down in a dark hole. You can't get out that bitch, right? You need something to put your foot on to gain you some leverage to boost yourself up. If you don't have that fucking starter step, which is your support network, even if it's one fucking person, That step is the difference between getting out of it and literally permanently staying in it. So many people in homeless towns around in Phoenix, bro. I'm talking hundreds of thousands of people are homeless right now. Hundreds of thousands outside right now, homeless.
Yeah, homelessness
Crazy.
is a big issue.
Homelessness is terrible, bro.
It's a big issue. You see people sleeping underneath train passes and
If you can even sleep, you know what I mean, God, like
that
for real.
town.
You sleep. Sometimes you'll go 3, 4, 5, 6 days without sleeping, dog, because you just don't trust anything. You can't trust anything. You got to find that little niche. Me, I'm not one to just jump in a homeless community and call it a day because I'm trying to get out of that shit, son. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah,
trying to figure every and any way I can. So I need to be by myself, to put my thinking cap on, not be around drugs and alcohol. That's number one. Not be around people that are okay with it. That's number two. Like we said earlier, who you put yourself around, and then being able to think and strategize like I like to do. So I was able
yeah.
to rise out of it. Thank God, man.
Glad you was able to rise. Not everyone is, but
Not everyone is, man. And there was a minute there when me and you was talking. Actually, take it back now. January, February, March. I mean, we just started. People that don't know Reeves and I go back, man. Early
yes, you
Sauce
do.
community days. You know what I mean? Reeves, like
Sauce.
Sauce community. What's up, Sauce? Sauce Network. You know what I mean? And so I go back with a lot of people there, and there's still a few that are just the most personal to me in the sense of I trust, I care about, I want to see succeed. I want to be part of their success. I want to put into their success. You know what I mean? And Mr. Reeves, for those that don't know, is one of them dudes, yo, for real though. And so I love this man with everything. So I'm talking to him because I don't really talk to a lot of cats. And we're doing the Perfect Strangers project we had just started. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
We're not going to leak too much of it, but we got a couple tracks already recorded on that bitch, to say the least. And
Yeah.
so,
Couple
we got
skits too.
a couple skits. Yeah, we got some shit cracking. You know what I mean? We got a really cool project coming together. Concept wise, you know what I mean? Just the flow of the songs and everything is dope, man. So be on the lookout for that project. That's probably sometime next year, I would think.
Yeah, most likely next year. The
Yeah,
production
yeah.
is crazy. Not just because I did it, but it's
Man, production. That's how it all came about, if you remember. Before I
yeah.
went to jail, I was like, bro, because you be doing your beats, you put them out on Instagram, and I fucking love them. I love your beats.
Thank you.
I hope you can hear one today. I'll put a little freestyle out on VibinWithReeves. You know what I mean? One I ain't heard too. That would be dope, bro. Because I love your beats, and so
Thank you.
I'm like,
Appreciate
yo,
that.
yeah, absolutely, bro. I was like, yo, this shit's stupid, bro. This shit's sick, because I really mess with Imminent Productions out of the Black Soprano family. The Trust Nobody group. That's who my main producer is. I have gotten beats from Heat by Stan the Man, which is an honor that he even blessed me with beats, because he's a legendary producer. So shouts out. And a couple of Cracker Rican and a couple other beat producers, but primarily Eminem. So your beats are just that. I be telling you right now, I'm freestyling to him like crazy. I got the illest freestyle to your beat right now, dude. The people are cold. Whoo.
Yeah, yeah, that one. Yeah, I love that one.
Man, that beat is stupid. I got a
Thank you.
crazy freestyle recorded right now. I'm just mixing it down myself because I'm practicing with my freestyles, mixing and engineering to get the feel for
Yeah.
it. So when I get it to a decent level, I'll send it to you with a visual, bro. It is stupid.
Word, word,
I've actually
word.
freestyled to every single beat you sent me on the Perfect Strangers beats. I have a freestyle for it in my shit.
Or word. Let me hear, because some of those might be so dope that we just need to have that be the original, have that be the whole song.
You know what I want to do? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, because what I've been doing. So I got a project. I got the mental health joint out. So the last several months, you know what I mean, throughout the time, I've been freestyling, off the dome freestyle because I love spinning off the dome. You know what I mean? It just keeps you sharp in your game, in your pen game, in your mind, actually. And so
It
I got
does.
some, it does, man. And it's hard. It's very hard to do, man, to really do it well, too. And I got some dope ass freestyles for the mental health I need help mixtape. And so that's the first mixtape I'm going to be dropping. Then I got a project coming with Rulers Inc., and I freestyled to their beats. So we'll do something like Spilled Ink, Spilled Ink, think of Rulers Inc. So Spilled Ink mixtape, you know what I mean? And that'll be the beats with freestyles, but then the tape will come out, the actual thing. And so the same thing with Perfect Strangers. We'll put the tape out, and the freestyles, I'm just gonna throw Like anybody that buys it, and this is what I'm going to do with the mental health joint. Anybody right now, I'm telling everybody, if you buy a tape cassette, a CD, or a LP, which are in the process of finalizing right now, you will get a free mixtape. I need help, a CD on me, you know what I mean, and a poster, which I got designed, and I'm going to be releasing the posters with the EPK later tonight when we get done. Because I got
Oh,
it. It was
that's dope. That's dope. So
yep,
maybe
yep,
so when we do the Perfect Strangers, like you're saying, we release the album. Anyone that gets the album, he gets the free
yep,
freestyle joint, the
yep. If
freestyle
you
bonus tape.
yep, yep. If you buy the tape cassette, CD, or LP, you get, if you buy the LP, you get the LP's got a ton of artwork that comes along with it that's not in any other stuff. All the fucking mental health stuff or all the Rulers Inc. stuff. So, because I'm very visual, I do all my own photography, all my own videography, all my own editing, all my own film, videography or, excuse me, cinematography. All that shit I do myself. Everything you see on my reels, man, I do all that. Nobody helps me with it. And so that artwork's going to come with the LP, the record.
And that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. And
Sounds
so
like you want
that's
to
what
do
I'm trying to.
vinyls too.
Yeah, I'm doing vinyl. I got vinyls, tape cassettes, and CDs. So if you buy the tape cassette or CD, you get the you get the I need help mixtape. Help, I need help. You know what I mean? Type shit, bro. It's a crazy mixtape over some dope imminent production beats. And then with the Rulers Inc., it'll be them guys, and then with ours, it'll be yours. And I got several other albums already done. You know what I mean? For real. Fight Club's done. Judith tapes are done. Kill the Stat, The Truth Over Lies, The Establishment Always Tells. That's done. I mean, I got probably 4 or 5 albums ready to go, man, for real. Concept albums, start to finish.
I respect it. I like that, and I like the idea about the freestyle thing. You got me right there, and I know
Yeah,
you always do your artwork because we always end up talking about that. How you do the artwork.
yeah, I do. I do. It's something I didn't do when we first met. You know what I mean? But I'll be honest. Sauce is someone who said, if you can't afford for somebody, you got to do your own shit. So him and B
Yeah,
Austin, I took that shit very serious. I was like, damn, because I'm looking at everybody's videos and who's in the group, and I'm like, some of them are good, some of them are trash. I said, what does my shit look like? You know what I mean? And that's when I started dabbling. If you remember with the Insights album, I did the Todd Pitts interviewing Teal Lestat, you know what I mean? Where I
yeah,
bounced me back and forth between me.
yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
So that's when I really started recording. First time actually recording and shooting my own shit.
Oh,
That
that
was
was
one of my
I
first,
like that.
yeah. And then I did the bar breakdown where I was, there's a couple of videos where I'm like writing it, thinking about it, and then performing it. You know what I mean? And then, I started throwing around a couple ideas of shit I could do. I was like, freestyles, man, because I'm a dope ass freestyler, son, off the dome too. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit the freestyles up. And that's when I was like, yo, I gotta be freestyling. And I freestyle every day, man. Every day, all the time. People be like, what are you saying? I'm like, no, I'm just rapping to myself. Yeah, never mind me.
That's good. That's good. It's a good mental exercise.
I need it, man. I really need it because otherwise I'm in my head. Because I work with a bunch of cool dudes. Don't get me wrong. I got a cool landscaping job. It don't pay a lot, but it's an easy gig and it's right around the crib. And so I work with these places, you know what I mean? Which if Hispanic gentlemen that are not from the United States that have migrated here, places. And I don't understand a word these dudes say. They try to fill me in and I know pinche gringo, you pinche pudre. You know what I mean? Like I'm learning some shit, just the swear words and shit, but um, for real though, that's what they want to teach you. But I don't understand these dudes. They sit and talk all day in the car. I'm like, what the fuck? So I just throw my shit in, work on my mixes, work on my videos. Use
Yeah, I
that
feel
time,
you.
bro. Yeah, yeah, for real, man. Yep.
Yo, I feel you on that because I do stuff. I might like on Canva, like even the stuff I sent you for the for our joint.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
coming
yeah.
up. The artwork I did all that in Canva.
Yep. See, I do, and this is what I want to honestly start doing because I think I'm a good enough editor where I can start selling my services at a low reduced rate for independent artists, give them a flat base fee for video, not hit them over the head because it don't take me too long. I don't use no AI or nothing, bro. Those are all layers and video, you know what I mean? Like layers, bro, like old school editing type shit.
Why don't you go to Fiverr?
I should go to Fiverr. Someone else said that too, man. It's not a bad idea because if I charge someone like 75 or $100 for a video, depending on what they're doing with it, right? And I
Yeah,
whip it out in a couple of days, man. If I start knocking them shits out and I can get my name and credits, because to me it's all about getting your name, Teal Lestat, in the algorithm for production, for artistry, for songwriting, for videography, for do everything. You get your name out there, excuse me, and then you start to build credits. You know, if people that artists that don't know, you can look at your credits on Chartmetrics, you can look at your credits on Museo. This is a place where all your data is stored, man. Who you've produced with, created with, written, how many songs, how popular, what your rating is amongst other artists. You know what I mean? This is valuable information. And so
Definitely,
I
definitely.
check that shit all the time, bro. I check that and all my buddies that I'm cool with. I'm like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Okay, okay. You know what I mean?
It's always good to stay in the mix and know what you're doing, what your people are doing.
Hell
And
yeah.
that way, you never know. Someone might have put you down with something and credit it for you, and you didn't even know they did. And you be like, wait a
Yeah,
minute. Oh, I forgot about that freestyle from back 4 years ago.
exactly.
Next
Because
thing
if
you
it's,
know, it's up there, and they just didn't get
yeah,
in touch with. Maybe they have an old number, but now you see it. Now you know to try to get in touch with them.
yep, you can get in touch with people that way, you know, and it pits you with other artists in your similar category. So that's good understanding of where you're at compared to people that you're rated amongst. That's everything. You know, Cracker Rican said this to me the other day. He's like, you know, one thing that a lot of artists sleep on is like the features you are doing and stuff, because when you start to get credit amongst other artists and you're showing them and they're showing you love and you guys are working together and posting each other's shit, that's fans really fucking fuck with that. You know, when I think back, I'm like, yeah, he's kind of right. Because when I came back to rap, because I didn't listen to hip hop for since 2001 all the way to like 16, 2016, 17, you know, and then Griselda came through Buffalo, because I'm from Buffalo, you know what I mean? And so I would see Benny do shows and, you know, K Slay shows and shit like that around Buffalo. I seen him at, you know, the mixtape store there. Rest in peace, you know what I mean? Um, but I didn't really like hip hop. I was on jam bands, The Grateful Dead, Talking Heads, shit like that. You know what I mean? 80s punk and shit. And it kind of reflects on my style, actually. But so then Griselda comes out and I start fucking with these boys. I'm like, yeah, this shit's hard, yo. This is our body, you know what I mean? And so that's what kind of brought me back to it with it. You know what I mean? And so then I was like, yo, Rome Streets is dope. Boldy James, Stoke. God, these guys are not only dope, but they do hip hop in their own way. They're not doing it like how I'm used to it with back in the day, the boom bap era that I'm used to. You know, they're still boom bap, but Stove God is drastically different than Boldy, who's drastically different than Rome Streets. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
these are three top tier to me artists. Conway the Machine. These guys all have their own style. They're West Side Gun even. I
Shay
can go
Noir.
on. Shane Noor. Like, here's the crazy thing about Shane Noor. 6 degrees of separation type shit. Her little brother, Akeem, shouts out to my boy Akeem, you know what I mean? That's her brother. You know what I mean? I taught him in school, right? And not only did I teach him,
Wow.
yeah, on God, bro. And I didn't know this, son. I was back in Buffalo a couple of years ago when I met Eminem for the first time, actually, 22, September of 22. I was in town. He said, yo, you in Child Pitts? My student. I was like, yeah. He's like, yo, I'm going to scoop through. So I went scooped him. He lived over now on the north side, close to where my mom's lived. Picked him up. We went and had pizza and beer, shooting the shit. You know, I'm proud of him. He's a fucking phenomenal painter. He's a tradesman. He's got his own business, his own thing. He's a great father. This is the cat, yo. When I knew him as a kid, he was roughneck, and he still is rough, and he ain't no fucking joke, that's for sure. But I, you know, I can't help but think maybe I'm just talking out loud, you know, but I put a lot of attention and effort in with this kid because I truly liked him. He was a really good kid that a lot of teachers were like, this gangbanger, he ain't gonna be shit. And I'm like, nah, man, don't even say that shit, bro. So I got him into like the projects, it's at the summer school programs, and I made sure he was doing what he was doing. I taught him how to drive. We drove in my fucking hoopty, you know, the back race around
Yeah.
Buffalo, bro, and that took him to his fucking driver's test on God. I mean,
Word.
yeah, on God, bro. This is one of my favorite students I've ever had in my life, son.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, it is. He is. I still keep up with him regularly. You know what I mean? Me and him stay up regularly. And when I'm in Buff, I catch up with him. You know what I mean? We might smoke. I might go work if I'm next time I want to go work with him because he's got a successful business. I'm a successful carpenter. And so, yeah, Shay Noir's little brother. I was like, who's your sister? He's like, Shay Noir. I was like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Boom. And he pulls up his shit. I was like, damn, you ain't fucking playing, son. And so I've
Small
actually been in
world.
contact. Yeah, I've talked to her once or twice, you know what I mean? Which is cool because then that puts you think about it in contact with Ransom. They got an album coming out. 38 Special. I've already talked to Ito many times out of Rochester. And I've got Eminem, who's in, you know, Trust Nobody group. Eminem Productions, people don't know. He's a dope producer, bro. A lot of motherfuckers don't even know he's got shit out there with artists like that, bro. Dope producer. And that's my group. Bah, shouts out fucking Imminent, son. Oh God,
Shout
that's my
out.
people. One of my best friends right now in the sense of we fucking build on mental health shit. He's a large part of how I was able to put this album together because, we talk, me and him, constantly about hip hop, about personal shit, about life, about, and we just been building for years now, man. And straight up, me and him, I got a dope mixtape coming from him. Maybe I can't even leak it. I don't think I can't even leak the information on it.
Don't even do that.
I'm
That could
not.
be
I'm not
another
gonna.
interview.
I'm not gonna.
When
I'm
it's
not
closer to
gonna.
coming out, when it's about to be out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you. If you my era, this shit's gonna hit home with you, son.
All right.
Yeah, Eminem is the dopest fucking producer out there, in my personal opinion. Anyway, but you know what I mean? Just what he's able to do. I got so many beats of his, bro. I love this guy's beats. This is how I've been kind of fucking vibing and moving, man. You know what I mean? It's good to be back on the show because I think this is now my third time, is it?
The second,
Second time?
yeah, but there
I
will
think.
be a third.
Yeah, because I got plenty of projects coming out. And of course, we got our Perfect Strangers. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's going to be dope shit, man. And
That's
so,
gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope.
yeah, so Mental Health came out. Shots out. I want to give quick shots out to the artist of the shirt, Faces. My guy, Faces.
All right, till it's that.
Yeah, for real,
Faces.
though. If you don't know, now you do know.
All right.
He's one of the creators. These are going to be, and look at that's a dope image, right?
That is.
That's gonna be on t-shirts, my guy. That's the merch coming out, son. And so this is
Ooh, that's gonna
hand
be
painted.
tough.
This is hand painted one of one exclusively for me. And so I thought, what better show to wear it on than the Vibin with Reeves show? Shouts out to my guy Faces because he's a nasty fucking abstract. And we got our thing. It's called Abstract Convergence, and it's me and him kind of my music, his rhyme or his drawings and thoughts combining together and creating a whole different type of movement and scene. Art and music combined, where one is reflecting the other is a direct reflection of it.
Exactly.
Abstract convergence.
I like that. I like that.
That's fire, bro. Yep.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, yeah. So
Let's get into the mental health.
yeah, let's go. I mean, we've been chopping it up. It's been a minute since we talked. You know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely. So the mental health project, is one of these projects I stress to everybody, number one, before I even start this, I'm gonna say, if you are a victim of mental health, know somebody that needs mental health and you need help, you need to get help. You know what I mean? It's no joke. The album doesn't play light on it. I'm not gonna front, but I'm serious about it as a mental health advocate. If you need mental health help, or you don't even know you need it, if you know someone that needs it, you need to get to them. Don't just take the hang-ups and go see them. You need to be with your people, man. Your people need you, bro. It's a very serious epidemic. You know what I mean? First and foremost. So get the help you need, man. It's worth it. For real.
Yes, it
And
is. Yes,
so,
it is.
yeah, that's how it started. So mental health kind of came together. It is, it's a sad but true story, man. You already know me. I don't cap in my rhymes, son. Everything I say is something I've done, lived, and experienced, right? And
Right.
so everything I'm talking about on these tracks is fucking reality, man. Like this is my 2023 into 24. You know what I mean? From when the original project dropped and I had to pull it. You know what I'm saying? But this every single track, from No More to Dear Diary to Dark Hole, Hard Times, Mental Breakdown, the title track, Mental Health, We All Die. These are tracks that reflect a time period in my life, man, where I was going through the illest of times, man. Like my loved one, my wife at the time, did some ill shit to me and flipped me upside down in my world, turned everything around on me and left me with nothing. You know what I mean? And this is what I've been building back on. This is where Teal Lestat was born. To be honest with you, son, the origin story of Teal Lestat is in this tale right here. Because out of this hate and this anger towards my ex-wife, we'll call her Judith, you know what I mean, for all potential purposes, because Judith represents every ex-wife and girl you hate, combined all their nasty characteristics. That's a fucking Judith, you know what I mean, son? So, out of that, Teal Lestat was born. You know what I mean? This is when I started scribing my rhymes down. And these are some of my earliest writings, aside from the Insights album, that I was journaling when I was first homeless and first was arrested and going through this divorce that fucking took everything from me. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, my life, my daughter, my livelihood, my dignity, my pride, my humanity, my manhood. To be honest with you, son, made me feel like I wasn't shit. And so dark times and dark hole and hard times are songs like no joke, man. Like I was there, like with the ISTA to pull it, bro, and couldn't do it. And thank God I couldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Thank
Because
God, indeed.
thank God, man. Because for real, you're like we don't think about it in the moment. You're like I'm better off dead, but in reality, like I said, students have gotten a hold of me. Me and you've been correct. There's so many people that I have a not only a positive impact on, but have a positive impact on me, man, and help me grow. You know what I mean? So you can't just selfishly do that to yourself at the very lowest point. Just when you got to reach out to motherfuckers. And so dark hole and hard times, I literally pulled the fucking pistol out, son of my mouth. Like, you fucking won't do it. It's like, I'm just okay. To be fair, I could perish today. No way would I care. Stare death in the face. Wouldn't have it any other way. Life's mundane. I'd put a bullet in his brain. But fuck it, I'll let these drugs do their thing. You know what I mean? And that's how Dark Hole starts out. That's fucking serious shit right there.
You gotta, you know what? You're blessed because you didn't, you didn't pull the trigger. Some people don't realize, and it's hard to shake the mental, the whole
I ain't
that
even
that
mad at
mental
motherfuckers,
illness can
bro.
have, so that you're able to shake and finagle out, and also that you are able, that you have the talent to write. So you're able to
I
express yourself and
appreciate that,
get that
man.
out of you. There's a lot of people that don't
Therapy.
have that, and they don't,
Yeah.
and you tell them to vent. They don't have anyone to vent to, and they
Nope,
don't
they
write
don't.
us
A lot of
or
people
say
don't, man.
nothing.
Facts, man.
Use your
I am
arts.
I am very blessed in that nature because I'll be honest with you, I did when all this started. I took the right steps I was supposed to. I got in touch with my people, my brothers, and my friends and family at the time. You know what I mean? I went into an IOP. I made it religious to see my daughter. I don't care how much money I was crazy spending $35,000, $40,000 I spent to see my kid on supervised visitation, bro. Till it broke the bank. I literally couldn't afford to even get gas to go fucking pick her up, son. You know what I mean? I had to stop. And that's when then everything kind of shit swirled out of there. But you know what I mean? So yeah, I am. I'm very blessed, man, because I'm able to. Because you think too, I got Dear Daughter, I got the Judith tapes, where instead of at times maybe doing something that I would regret against a person, I didn't do. I wrote it out instead. You know what I mean? And that's the song that came out. So I am blessed on that. You're right,
Yeah,
and I appreciate you acknowledging that because sometimes I don't even remember that. You know.
yeah. Sometimes you know what I say this. We all go through things. Some a little bit, some a lot, but it's easier to sometimes to see what someone else is going from. You're looking from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Sometimes it won't allow you to see what's really going on, and sometimes it gives you the opportunity to see things from a better angle. It's like a wide lens.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah. You're
super
right on
focused
that.
when you're going through it. You're super focused on this. But when you're not, it's like the wide lens. You go out there, you can see more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but if I was going through my thing, I'd probably need you to point out like, yo, you be pointing stuff out to me.
Yeah, and
So
that's what I mean. You really need a support network, man. And here's the thing: when you're in the moment where you're, let's just face what depression is, because I am type 2 bipolar. That's a fact. Been for a lot of years, and ADHD. You know what I mean, and shit like that, bro. So I take meds for that. Or I used to. I don't anymore. But when you're the one that's going through it, you don't even want to reach out and ask someone what's going on. How do you feel like it's a burden? Or every time you do, all you focus on is the times that they don't pick up. So you're like, nobody's picking up, and you're fucking mad at everybody, and you shut everybody out, man. Like with me, son, I isolated. Big time, bro. Like I moved from my house in Avondale where we did the first interview. I went to a place up in Surprise. The dude fucking robbed me. You know what I mean? Like 4 days later, took all my shit and spread it out, blocked me out of the house and took my money. So, you know, I do because I'm already on papers, so I do the fucking stupid thing, and I'm like, I'll get the police involved, and nothing fucking happened. So I had to go fucking beat the guy up. You know what I mean, son? You guys sometimes take shit into your own hands. And then so I got another place, and when I got my second place in Surprise, I didn't tell anybody where I lived. Not a single soul. I didn't have mail there. I didn't have nobody knew where I lived. Not even my PO because I told them I was homeless at the time. You know what I mean? And so I would just meet them at the fucking park when he would pop up. I mean, he'll call
Yeah,
out, pop up on me. Yeah, nobody knew where I live. I wasn't registered anywhere, which is kind of a scary and dangerous thing when you think about it. Something happens, nobody knows where you're at. You're gone, bro. You're done. You're gone. You know,
yeah,
and it's facts, bro. Like these are things you don't think about. So I isolated, and isolation is a very, big deal with mental health. People use drugs and alcohol, which I did, and isolated, and I secluded myself. Like when my I'll put it like this: when my brother and sister each different times paid for my Uber from there to the court date for the probation violation before I went to jail. I didn't even give him my address then, God. I sent it to the fucking Fries. And I just went to walk to the Fries, drank a beer on the way to Fries to go to court. Boom. And caught a fucking joint there so nobody knew my address. I didn't want nobody to know where I live, bro. And that's how much you get in your head, son. You know what I mean? It's crazy like that. And
yeah,
so, yeah, yeah. And so that's what, I'm saying all this stuff because, look, it's the premise of this album, you know what I mean? And all tracks according, it starts off, I'm checking in to the doctor's office. I'm not going to give too much away in it, but, and it's a concept album that proceeds and ends in a certain manner. It's like appropriate for it. And then each track, if you look at Rap Nerd Review, my boy D Sick, he did a phenomenal, and so did Serpent Tongue, you know what I mean? And so did Indie Nation, actually. I've had three really dope reviews written about this album, and each one of them is just, they're pulling things out of them. I'm like, man, I didn't think no one would get that. I didn't think, oh man, he picked that up. You know what I mean? So the sequencing is beautiful. It really is. And I'm not saying that on myself. I ain't tooting my own horn. I'm reading other people's words. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I was listening to that today, actually.
You was listening to it?
Yeah,
It's fire, bro. How it starts, right? So, what can I
exactly.
ask you? Like, if what was your overall impression of it? Like,
My overall impression,
it's
it was
dark,
dope.
man. It's dark, man.
But today, what's wild? That I got a extra appreciation for your delivery on it, as far as the bounce and the cadence. Before I appreciated the pain in your voice.
Someone else said that. He said,
You're
man, you
doing that,
could really,
you can hear
you could
it.
really hear it in your voice. I'm like, really? It's like, man, like it's screaming. Like you could
Yeah,
seriously, and I don't hear it because it wasn't pain to me. That's what I'm used to at this point. So
yeah,
that's
but
interesting.
you know what? You become used to it. You become numb to the pain.
You do become
That don't
numb.
mean it ain't pain anymore. You just numb
You
and
just
you
don't
don't
feel it.
recognize it because it
Yeah,
used
you're
to
right.
happen so much. It's like you're tired of it doesn't hurt anymore. You don't get the same sensation.
Right now, it just starts attacking your livers, your organs, your fucking back. It really starts eating away at you. The pain. You know what I mean? When you're numb to it, it just fucking infiltrates.
Exactly. So it's not like the pain isn't as dangerous or isn't toxic or hurting you anymore. It's just you're just
You
used to
don't
it.
feel it. Yeah,
Like desensitized, seeing violence every day, you desensitized to it.
facts, man.
It's
Good
still
point. Good
dangerous. You
point.
just like, oh, someone got shot. Versus, oh, just someone got shot.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Whereas you might drop, oh shit, boom, boom. When I lived in Buffalo in the hood, first time I hear shots, I'm like, oh shit, because I'm from outside of Buffalo, originally in the Jamestown area, so I'm living on the west side, right next door to these serious bloods. You know what I mean? Push, my guy Push out of Buff, and they were fucking just heavy banging, bro, pimping hoes, work. It was crazy. It was awesome. You know what I mean? I loved it. I'm in college. We're fucking wilding out, drinking beer, smoking blunts, getting head from fucking. It was awesome. It was some of the best time of my life. You know what I mean? And then, then it's like, da, 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 da. Cops shoot off. They kicked the door down. They shot the pit bull. It was like, holy fucking shit. You know what I mean? Some real shit. You get used to that shit, though. That's the thing. You're right.
Yeah, that is it's sad and it's dangerous, when
It's
you used to
dangerous.
because you don't see it
You're not
as
aware.
dangerous as it really is.
You're not as
It's
aware
like
anymore.
another Monday or Tuesday,
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly.
just regular.
So
But
the flow and delivery. Okay, I haven't heard that. What do you mean by that? Because I like my flow. I have a unique style of my own. I think, but
Yeah, but you had you still was bouncing on it differently, and you always been unique with your delivery. You
I
know,
appreciate that.
you're welcome. And the poetic, the way you put it down about your pain, and you describe what you're going through in cinematic. I told you that before. So
Yeah.
it was definitely, it's one of those things that's a dense listen. So it's not just something you just listen to once and like, oh, no, no,
Nah,
it's
you
something
gotta play it.
you have to
You
listen
gotta
to
pick it up.
again because
Yeah,
it's
you gotta
dense. It's a
listen more.
lot in there.
I
There's a
appreciate
lot to
that.
unpack.
Because I'll tell you what, a lot was going on with me, man, and that really. And here's the crazy thing, because I was just on an interview with Tony's showcase the other day, and he's like, "So how'd you put this album together? What made you want to do it?" I was like, "I got to be honest, I was just writing songs and recording with Slug at Salt Mine. No intention of putting songs out. I didn't even want to put these songs out 2 years ago when I created them. Some of them are from 2 years ago, man. You know what I mean? When I first started this shit, because I only really started recording, like I said, December of 22. First recording I ever did was Judith, Microphone Maestro, No More, and Mental Breakdown. Those are the first four songs I ever recorded in the studio.
Wow, wow.
It's 2.5 years, 3 years now going on. Now I'm looking at it like, man, I can't believe it. And I didn't ever want to put those shits out. You know, the only person I had ever let hear, besides my brother and his, Amy and my sister-in-law, was Max Osama, my guy Max Osama, because me and Max's relationship, we appreciate each other's bars because one, we're both wordsmith. He's a dope wordsmith, and he compliments myself. We
Shout
are the
out Max
Goonies.
Osama.
Yeah, shout out Max Osama. Monster 357 is the only other person that's heard these tracks because it's my Goonies brothers. You know what I mean? And I've been with them
Shout
guys.
man.
Yeah, as long as I've been with you, me and them guys, we were like kicking it one day. We're like fucking Goonies. I just named the group some stupid. I think, this is the Goonies. You know what I mean? Boom. I was like, we were like, yo, this is dope. We should work, and we drop what we got, and we're working still. Everybody's doing their own thing right now. Max is doing his thing. Monster doing his thing. I'm trying to get back on my Grizzly, but Goonies is still very much alive, and the Goonies projects are ill, bro. That's some of my favorite work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
last
so,
time we talked, I was asking you about him. I was like, man,
mm-hmm.
y'all gonna get that back.
We getting it cracking again. We getting it cracking again. We talk all the time still. You know what I mean? It's just, and life goes on. You know what I mean? Life happens, and you're like, holy shit, where'd he go? Oh shit, he's locked up. He's this. He's there. He's probably, you know what I mean? Or he's not around. He's this happened, that happened. It's, just shit happens and pulls you into directions that you're not aware of. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's hard to get do things when it's multiple people. Sometimes it can be hard when it's just you. But to
Facts,
sit
bro.
there and have like three, four, five, six people and saying, hey, we all want to get together to do something. It's not that easy. So
No, it's
I
not.
feel
It's
for
not.
artists when they in
They're
groups
in
and
a group.
everything
I
and the
agree.
fans are like, just
Drop
just get
another
back
album. We want
together.
another.
Like,
We want another Goonies project, and we're like, man, we're trying our asses to keep our own shit afloat. You know what I mean? In life
yeah,
and in music, and we're everything. Because Max is the same way, and so is Monster. They market their own shit. They record. They do all their own shit. They're true independent artists. Like Max is the guy that showed me how to do it. Shots out, and I'll give him credit on this all day, every day. He's the OG that showed me how to fucking put my shit on social media and how to fucking work your algorithm. He's the one that taught me that. You
man,
know what I
that's
mean?
what's up.
Absolutely, bro. Because he's like, yo, this dude can spit. Because nobody, I ain't never heard of nothing. He was more established than me. You know what I mean? When I came out, when I first dropped Judith, right? And he was like, I like you, yo. Let's go. Let's work. Monster had put me on him from Sauce. We know each other from Sauce. So I've been down with Monster as long as you. You know what I mean? Like type shit. We go back, all of us. And so Max is the first person, but he's the first person I let other artists I let hear this mental health album because
Right.
we go back like that. I truly value his opinion, value his feedback, whether it's positive or negative, you know what I mean? Because he gonna give me it real. And that's why I fuck with him. Max Osama, a real dude. For real. And
Yeah,
so,
shout
yeah.
out.
And he was like, man, you gotta release this shit. I was like, man, I can't release this. I'm talking about killing myself. Although I never say it, I'm like, I paint the wall with words, a masterpiece that sucks.
See that's what I'm saying is the intricacy and the poetic. You use raw, but you saying it, but you're not saying it where it's just like gun to my head, I'm dead.
I never really say it except for like because I had the suicidal tendencies, unfortunately, and that's very real. Again, 48% of people that go through the divorce that I went through and the alienation, 48% of men that go through this type of case kill themselves, bro. That's a fact. Statistically proven. And so it's like you see numbers like that, and you're like, damn, I almost slipped into that. And I talk about it in the one, I think it's Dark Hole. I'm like, the devil be persistent and fuck up your scheme. And it just, I don't remember all my own lyrics. I got to be honest. I'm like, but God ain't let it though. No. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I almost fucking did it. The devil, he persistent and some shit. I love that
Yeah.
song, Dark Hole, for real. But, and so that's what that is, you know what I mean? And then you get tracks like No More, um, Dear Diary, where I'm talking really about alienation. You know what I mean? Dear Diary, the whole track is about alienation. It's how my ex is, making turn my kid like I was never involved in her life, like we never meant anything, like I never cared, like I don't care now, to not want to talk. I mean, alienation is, if you don't know what that is, like a divorce is already fucking hard. But now have somebody, if you have children, any man out there that has a daughter or even a son, if you have the unconditional love, because that's where you truly see it, when that fucking hits your heart, that is a void and emptiness that to me still to this day, bro, even though I look like it's still not filled. There's a huge void in my fucking chest because I'm not with my daughter. I don't know how to get rid of it, bro.
Yeah.
Music is the only thing I can do, and this is why I write the way I do. You know what I mean? And so these are tracks that reflect alienation and the depression that comes along with that. And then, of course, I reference drugs because drugs and alcohol then kick in when you're in a mental health fucking belligerent state. You're not thinking, you're not caring. So you're just doing drugs and alcohol. And I was doing everything. So at once, give me it all. Molly, ecstasy, mushrooms, coke, fucking pills, fucking G, whatever. Weed, alcohol, all at the same fucking time. You know what I mean? Type of shit. And that normally kills people.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Even though people doing it as like an escape or as a coping mechanism, it's definitely a dangerous one,
It's
with the football.
dangerous. It is because drugs are not cool, man. Period. I mean, I'm smoking an L, and because now I'm used to it. But harder drugs, like hard drugs. You drink, I drink. I'm drinking a pap. Shouts out to the old school people.
Yeah,
So
definitely. I drink, but even then, honestly, I don't drink as much as I used to. I used to drink heavy, heavy.
I used to drink more. I just drink a couple beers a day now because it's just a way I deal with what I got going on in my life. Because the mental health shit is still real with me. You know what I mean? So that's what I like about this album is that it really truly is a reflection of who I am, my feelings, what I'm talking about, and it's raw. You know what I mean? And so, and I put it and Cracker Rican helped me with the skits and everything. We put it together really well. You know what I mean? And so I'm proud of this project. Something I didn't originally want to release to now out with dope artwork and artists painting faces on me because of the music. You know what I mean? That hits right there.
You know what? I know why you didn't want to release it, because you said, but it's that personal stuff. Sometimes them songs are personal that show off vulnerabilities, make the best songs.
Yeah, they do.
But you gotta
They
be
do.
brave to put it out there because
You gotta be
you're
willing.
exposing yourself, and you you don't want people to judge, because we're human beings. We don't want people to judge us.
Yeah, I don't want people to judge, but here's the also thing that I've also learned, my guy, is that I'm at a point in my life where it's like if you don't like me or my fucking who I am and how I talk, what I think about things and how I present, then that sounds like a fucking you problem. Get the fuck away from me, you know what I mean, son? I don't give a shit. And I don't anymore. I used to care, and that's when you move past that point where you're concerned with how other people look at you or judge you, then you're not being yourself anymore.
You're
You know what I mean?
not, you're not, and there's a lot of people who aren't.
Yep.
But okay,
All right, so
I'm
my
I'm
bad. Go ahead. Shoot.
I'm gonna ask
Uh-huh.
you this
Yeah,
before
yeah,
I
yeah.
forget:
Please, anything.
freestyle or writing? Which one do you prefer?
I love them both. I'm gonna be honest with you and I use them differently. Freestyling them off the dome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's if something happens, whatever, you know what I mean, I could get into freestyle mode. Like I'll spit it right here. Me and Reeves, we don't care. We kicking it back. Me in a chair, him too, smoking back L's like we was where back in the day, man. We don't can't tell. Who cares about that shit? Oh well, till Lestat. Reeves does it well. We got Perfect Strangers coming out, and you better tell everybody about it, man. I doubt it. You can't step to the way that we flipped the shit and ran with it back to the finish line. It's getting time, and I'm getting mine. How about you? How about yours? Man, too. O-T-O, that is. Bitch, it's the stat. Don't make me say I gave you my kids. You know,
I like that.
and if I just come off the head, like, and I get into a zone, I like doing that creatively. But I also like writing, you know what I mean? Because then you can dissect the beat. You know, because I'm one that's surfing the. That's why I love your beats, bro. Because you got them fucking.
Thanks.
You know, what I mean, it's you have different pockets layered in there. You know, what I mean, a lot of people don't even pick that shit up. You know, I'm like, oh shit, you can, and I can rap it, and I can do so many different things to your beats because I've been stretching my voice and trying my voice as just an artist. I don't know if I'll ever release that shit, but
I think you should.
you know, so one of them is yours. I got the cold and alone.
Yeah, thanks. And I like how you did on that. And actually that's
But
one of my favorites. Yours and
you mean that's a crazy verse, bro?
yeah, thank. And I was
It is a
loving
crazy.
and I like
Yours
my
is
verse on
crazy
that
too.
too.
Yeah, yours is crazy too, bro. Like the
Thanks.
the dirty bar, the dirty bar
Yeah,
joint where you and me is stupid.
we gotta do
And
that.
then we come in with what was it? The one we did with you,
Oh yeah, yeah, it's something for the stash.
where I love you and I love you for this because I gave you a recording once of me and you're like, I love it, yo. I love the wordplay. But yo, you said straight up to me. He's like, because this is remember I was in a bad space. Think about it now, thinking back,
Oh
bro.
yeah.
You're like, yo, just you sound not to kind of tone the anger down with it. You sound angry and I want you to more laid back T.O. on it. And I was like, man, fuck that. Yeah, I deliver how I deliver. I'm thinking in my head. But then when I went to Cracker Ricans and did it for you, I did a laid back flow and it sounds so much better, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
thanks,
I've
man.
listened to both recordings.
And I'll shout you out. I love that you was able to be open minded. Some artists aren't.
Yeah. Well,
Artists
you
and
got it.
producers we should all be open minded, because worst come
Absolutely.
to worst, you just erase it and don't use it.
Exactly. Here's
Yes.
my thought on it with anything in life. This is one of the reasons in my own personal life, and I'm not again, I don't toot my horn, I speak facts. I mean you can check everything I'm saying, but I have I've gone a long way in education because I am thriving always on learning new things. Like I don't understand if why not try something? The worst that can happen is you don't do good. You can try it again a different way if you're creative. You know what I mean? And maybe
Exactly.
get a better result out of it. Because there's nothing like self accomplishment. I don't care. You can get paid at work, and that's monetary. It's fiat. It means nothing really. And a lot of people already know this intuitively, but we still work for money. So that's our reward. And very few people are satisfied with their check every week or month or whatever. Right? Am I wrong?
Shoot. A lot of people, especially nowadays, shoot,
Right.
they're not even getting a check the way
A
this.
lot of people ain't. You know what I mean? On God. And so there's nothing better than the finishing. And this is why I love being a carpenter too, because I'm a master carpenter of starting something from nothing, using creativeness. That's why I said earlier we have that God brain on. You know what I mean? We tapping into our God mode because we are gods. Period, bro. We are a sliver of God. We are God. We can create, recreate, and procreate. So you create something out of nothing, see it through, finish it, and deliver the product. That's like the most rewarding thing. That intrinsic reward. You know what I mean? That's where you get the most joy and satisfaction out of life. That and giving and helping people because you're giving again when you're giving and helping you're giving something that wasn't there to someone that needs it and it's you all of you for real you that's life. I mean that's God right there.
Yeah, you gotta pay it forward, and creating is a
Creating
blessing
is
to be able to create.
absolutely yeah so it's a good feeling right when you create
It
something
is.
yeah because you make beats when that beat's finished you're like yeah that shit hits. Your head starts
Exactly.
smacking. You know what I mean? You know the feeling. You send it off to someone and they're like, yo, this is ew. That's the best feeling, right?
Right. Hold on a second. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
pause for the calls and find some beats. So I'm gonna pause this, come back in like a
Okay.
minute or two, and come back with some beats. Maybe we
We
can
get some crack
freestyle a
right
little
now.
bit.
I'll freestyle right now. Absolutely. We'll drop something on them. If you got beats, man, you know I love them beats.
Thanks. I'm gonna get some right now.
Wrong with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Back from the break, son.
back in the place, and the beat thing ain't work. Technical difficulties
It's all good. It's all
with
good.
the
You know what I
game,
mean? Here, yeah.
but he's going to freestyle, style free. Mm,
Hmm.
mm, 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 mm,
Yo,
mm, mm, mm,
yo,
mm,
it is the kid. How I'm gonna
mm,
spit
mm,
this. He said he
mm,
gonna
mm,
beatbox. I said
mm,
I'm
mm,
with this. Always,
mm,
always does, always is, and I
mm,
always have been.
mm, mm,
You can ask my best
mm,
friends since '93. I've been
mm,
spitting shit hotter
mm,
than
mm,
most rap could ever come up with a
mm,
pen
mm,
game. You
mm,
doubting
mm,
me? Why is that?
mm,
Because
mm,
I'm a wise
mm,
cat. I'm killing stat the wise in
mm, mm,
fact. If you don't like it, you can fall back.
mm,
Suck
mm,
my dick
mm.
and cap. No cap. Get the fuck out of here with that whack. Shit that they rap, they ain't racking like I is. I'm spitting hotter than lava, hotter than most people could ever think to get. Why? I don't know why. Some because I just do it. I tap into the spirits of the sky and I just take every word as it simmers in my mind and I spit it out for y'all all the time. Okay? Fuck what they say. I couldn't play any more than they did this shit and I don't know more than I have, just a little bit. Knowledge that is. You talking sideways out your ass again. Ah,
Yeah, T.O. with the flow, Reeves on the beat box, and that's what it is when we
yeah.
heat drop, and you
Boom,
know
boom,
it,
boom.
man, you know it, lady. Real
Mm,
hip
mm,
hop drive you crazy.
mm, mm, mm,
That's what
mm,
it is.
mm, boom.
That's how we're doing it.
Boom, boom, boom,
Thanks for the
boom.
vibing. So,
Yeah, vibing
yeah,
with Reeves.
vibing. We
Yo, we
spent a long
vibing with
time in the room.
Reeves. Yeah, I would do
Yeah,
a Tope song if you vibing with Reeves. That could be one of them tracks that we could put on a mixtape for vibing with Reeves. Because you know,
it
I
should
did
be.
the I used to have anyway before I put my music, but Rel Raw and Uncut, my guy, Rel's. You know what I mean? He owns that and the 99 clothing or 93 clothing or whatever. I think it's 99. So man,
Yeah.
don't misquote me on it. You know I misquoted on it. I feel bad for that. But I had his the track for his podcast, Raw and Uncut.
A word.
Yeah, yeah. Till the stack came on. I was proud that he even asked me. And I'll keep it a buck with you. He's like, how much you want money wise? So I said, I don't want anything. I said, I'm just honored you asked me. I said, I'll guide you. I got you, son. I said, we'll just put it in, you know what, put it into distribution. And every time it plays, I said, we'll split it 50-50. And I put his name half owner on it. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. That's fair.
100%. That's fair because, and here's the thing, he was coming across to pay me. I said, you know what I want? I said, just when I got a new project and it's time, let me jump on for an interview, dog. That's all I want. Time to chat with you on it. And I said, I'll do that shit. Nothing. I don't want nothing for it. Thank you for asking me. And it's a
Yeah.
dope song.
That's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it. But real quick, before we
Yep.
head out, I
Yeah.
need your top five albums.
Of all time, my top five hip hop or
Yeah,
just albums, any albums.
you know what? I'm a freak the game. You could do your top five hip hop and your top five any genre album.
Okay. 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 Top five hip hop albums. Um, Definitely, I would say, well, not even say, Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt is up there, 100%. Scarface The Diary is up there. Digital Underground Sex Packets album.
Oh, that's a
That
great album. All those
masterpiece.
great albums.
Masterpiece. Masterpiece
Woo.
album. Um, um, Smith and Wesson The Shining.
Ooh, yeah.
It's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, that's
It
some good
is.
shit right there.
That is a classic album, bro. And I would say the Roots, How I Got Over. That whatever the album that was on was yeah, so the light was on shining. Oh, there's so many. What the fuck was the name of that album?
How I Got Over was the name of the
How
How I
I
Got
Got
Over.
Over. How I Got
Yeah,
Over, right? Yeah,
yeah,
that's the album.
that was the
That right
title
there.
track.
Black
Name
Thought,
the album.
man. And Black Thought is to me number one MC. Black Thought, Jay-Z, Nas. You know what I mean?
Black Thought is so
Brad, Scarface, Scarface.
yeah.
Absolutely, and I would say probably honestly just to put credit where it's due would be Eminem would be the number 5 spot. You know what I mean? And he beat out a lot of dope MCs because I've been listening to hip hop since fucking Houdini, son. I had the Sex Packets tape cassette, my guy. Fat Boy's Crushing album. You know what I mean? On God, bro. My cousin would shoot us some albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
met
I
one of
have
the Fat Boys. He was
Fat
cool.
Boys. Fat Boys are a major inspiration in my life, bro. They are dope because they are concept rappers. If you think of their shit, they're rapping about a topic. All of them always was rapping. You know what I mean? They had a whole concept going. They were dope, dude. Disorderly is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that was funny, but Can You
Great
Feel It
movie.
was my joint. Can you feel it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The production on that, Curtis Blow produced that. A lot of
Yeah,
people ain't know Curtis Blow was producing for the Fat Boys like the first two albums.
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. You know, Fat
he,
Boys because they were a major bro, they're the people don't realize the Fat Boys, but you listen, they man, the Crushing album especially is my favorite, right?
yeah.
It has the song these I'm talking about my nuts, my nuts, my nuts.
Yeah.
Talking, you know what I mean? And he's beats up my nuts, don't hang with me, and he's talking about his nuts, and then his nuts start talking back to him like
That
nobody's
song was
doing this.
crazy.
Nobody's doing this shit back in the day. Shock G is the only one that's pushing the limits musically in the sense of we're not, you know, because it was conscious rap back then. Think about it. This the gangster rap did not exist when fucking Digital Underground and Fat Boys are doing those songs. Gangster rap was not there. You know, that's a
I mean, it
construct of
was, but was it like
nah.
it didn't take over?
I don't even think there really was a push of it. It was more of a conscious movement. You know, the Kid and Play. I think all the rappers back in the day who
It
was
was fun
gangster.
and conscious was the big thing.
Yeah, yeah. Like hip hop was like in the expression. It was the art. It was art really of the inner city people, man.
It was
Really.
whatever you felt like doing. If you
But
felt like being
exactly,
about pimps,
exactly.
that's what it was. If you felt like saying, "Hold, let's have a revolution," that's what it was. You just want to rap
Right. Because Arrested Development was a
dances.
group. Think of that. PM Dawn. There was not really a lot of aggressive. That's like a '90s construct of when the prison industry takes over and fucking owns the record label. You know, I mean, this is their push for real though. That's
Yeah,
facts.
it took
Yeah,
over like '93s when,
'93.
even though there
Right.
was gangster rap before that, but it really took over like
The first
'93.
the first gangster rap groups are who? Ghetto Boys, Scarface and the Ghetto Boys, and I don't mean the four, I mean the five with Prince, whatever the guy's name was, the white looking boy. You know what I mean?
Oh
Really, the
yeah,
white
Ready
look.
Red, rest in
Ready
peace,
Red,
Ready
Ready
Red
Red, son. Yes,
from Jersey.
yeah. So that was the original Ghetto Boys album, and that actually, people don't know this, that came out before fucking NWA. That was like one of the first gangster albums, dude.
Not that particular one, but yeah, they had one before because Ghetto Boys had a bunch of albums before that one.
Well, the first their first real album, you know, you got Grip It on the Other Level. And
Yeah,
then
that was the
before
one.
that,
That was crazy.
before that's a crazy album. It's kind of whack. It is kind of whack. I mean, when you put it in comparison to the discography of the Ghetto Boys, you know what I mean?
Nah,
It's
but there
one.
was two versions of it. So which one didn't you like?
I mean, I had both of them. You know what I mean?
Because
Uh,
there's one that was a remix album, one the original.
right. And it was, yeah. You know, I had both of them, and they comparatively lyrically though you get, you know, because from whatever what that was, and then when the next one, the next album that comes out is with them is the four of them on the front cover. You know what I mean? After Grip It. And that's one of the first gangster albums ever to be released.
With the moms playing tricks and everything.
No, that was the next that was the when we was being rushed in with the hospital.
Yeah, that one.
The one right before it is the one with the four pictures. It had all four of them. This is where they still had Ready Red in there. You know what I mean? And then
Oh
the
yeah,
next
Ready Red
album is
was on there up until like the
the
mom
Mind
playing
Playing
tricks one. He
Tricks.
was still
Yeah,
on it then.
which is the very next album after
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the the one with the four pictures. There's that album, and then it's they go into the one was Bring It On W Dome, that long ass fucking cipher, the whole Rap a Lot cipher. I mean, Rap a Lot Records
They would do
is
that
is
a
is one
lot.
of the greatest dynasties of all hip hop. You know, I mean, it was like no limit. Think of how many Rap a Lot records we all bought. Big Mike, people don't even know it.
Oh, I love Big Mike.
You know, I mean, I love Big Mike, Big Mello, fucking Seagram. I mean, he
Yeah.
had a plethora of MCs and talented MCs, Fifth Ward boys, all the way down to juveniles. You know what I mean, son? For
Yeah,
real.
there's a lot that came through. So you're right about that. You got to give
Yeah,
props to Rap a Lot Records.
yeah, absolutely. Jay Prince is a fucking genius because Jay Prince was, you know, making obviously money, but he was funding the thing and putting all these dope MCs. Scarface really is to me. This is why he's so important. Scarface is not only a legend as an MC because his pen game. If you listen to his work, like unbelievable. Sorry for What, his song "Sorry for What" is probably one of the deepest songs I've ever heard in my life. You know, he's like, "Is there anybody out there? I swear I feel so all alone." Here's Scarface, the gangster. You know, the no one in this guy, all I have in this world. That shit, that echo into the tape cassette. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
he's rapping. Yeah, he's rapping about some real shit on that song.
But one thing about Scarface, he was one of the first people that talk about the struggles with mental health. He's one of the
Absolutely.
first MCs, if not the first, that was really going
The,
in depth into it.
I would
Not
say probably the first. Yeah, absolutely the first. Because he looked at because this is his whole thing. Because this is what Brad Jordan is. Because I'm a huge Scarface. I met him in Buffalo. We passed a J to him at the bar. We was having drinks together. Dude, he's a mad cool dude too. That's the thing about Scarface. He is
oh
mad
word.
fucking chill. I swear to God, bro.
He
So
seemed like he'd be real
he's
cool.
he's mad chill, bro. He literally Willie D bounced after the show. Him and Bushwick came down into the fucking. I was at the Buffalo at one of the little theaters. Can't even think of it off the top of my head because I haven't been in it so long. But he comes off the stage with Bushwick Bill, son. This is right before Bushwick passes away. Rest in peace. Seriously. And Bushwick Bill standing on the railings, rapping,
Recipe.
signing autographs. I got Scarface's and Bushwick's Bill autograph on a ticket that night. You know what I mean? And I had weed on me. I had mad weed because me and my brother, I was growing weed in New York. My brother was growing weed on Cali. You know what I mean? So we had weed, dog. And I passed it to him. He's like, "Ooh, yeah, this is a bit." I said, "Here's a couple joints." I threw him several joints. I said, we could smoke. And we smoked it right there, one with him. And then he took like 4 or 5 joints with him on the bus. He's like, "Good looks, man." And he took shots with everybody. He was mad cool, bro.
Oh wow.
I
See,
swear to
see that
God.
that's a man of the people right there. That's a
Yeah,
man of
absolutely. And so that was to me bro, was a pivotal moment, in my hip hop life. You know what I mean? Because he is one of my absolutely most favorite artists ever. Because he talked about struggle and the mental health. Because he would be the psycho, he would snap. But if you listen to his lyrics, that's what he's talking about. He's snapping as a result of mental health. He's all through his shit. Mr. Scarface is back, all through it, bro.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he would do it. He talk about depression. He talk about the politics. Talk about racism. Talk about
Drugs and alcohol, racism too. He was one of the first people.
divorce.
Yep, he was one of
How
the
many
first people
people
to
talk
push.
about divorce and marriage and not trying to break up with your wife, trying to keep the family together?
Yeah, he had a couple dope songs on the one of his later albums. One I really, he said something like, "I'm numb. I don't feel nothing inside," and that line has always stuck me since I was a kid, bro. Because it's like when you feel that way, like, man, I'm numb. I don't feel nothing. You know what I mean? That's a terrible feeling. This is again bringing it back to the mental health. You know what I mean? That's what the whole album is. When you're numb, you don't feel nothing inside, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So that to me is a pivotal moment in my hip hop career because not even I wasn't even a rapper. I was back in Buffalo back then, bro. I was a teacher. You know what I mean? Proud teacher too of the people.
But you know what? I believe that if you're a real artist, you was a real fan before, and your fandom is one of the things that drove you to being an artist. It makes you want to be a great artist. If you these people, these artists outside that aren't really artists and it's just a hustle, they're not a fan. A lot of them aren't fans of any real musician or any artist. They're a fan of the lifestyle that they are trying to live,
Sure, sure,
and they're a
sure,
fan of
sure.
the hustle.
Right, right, right. Because it is a hustle. You got to put a lot into you. And it's boisterous and it's braggadocious and it's arrogant. You know what I mean? And it is because think about it. When you're talking your shit, when I'm talking my shit, who's spitting better than me, son? For real, and I'll say it. Who's spitting really better than me, especially off the dome? I don't know very many people, man, that are conceptually putting things together at the drop of a dime, and I stand on that. You know what I mean? Talib Kweli, Black Thought. These are MC. Most Def. These are MCs to me that like are fucking top notch because they're off the dome. They're fucking authentic in what they're saying. They're not bullshitting. They're just spitting real life shit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. You know what?
It'd
Well,
be
when
an
I
honor to spit with them guys. Phew.
you
And I
definitely.
could. Here's the thing. I'll keep up with them. I promise you, bro. Because my mind is far from like short. It's spitting. It's turning. It's hitting knowledge on. It's dropping knowledge on shit. And I stand on that. And you have to be. You know what I mean? You
When
got
you're
to
an
keep it.
MC, you have to stand. You have to be confident. No one wants to hear no low self-esteem
Absolutely.
rapper.
No, absolutely not.
No one wants to.
Absolutely not. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I
okay, you
can't.
and here's what I really like about some MCs I be fucking with is like, here's the thing: every MC knows that their style that they're doing is the dopest because it is. It's so unique. This is what a lot of MCs or rappers and group they don't take into accommodation is that instead of like, oh, look, yo, you're doing your thing, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, he's doing his thing. Everybody really is kind of doing their own thing with music, and that's the unique part about it. If you really embrace people's styles, man, you know what I mean? That's what I've
Exactly.
been doing a lot lately, like with artists I build with, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
Okay.
embracing
Um.
these styles. So,
What? I might switch things up.
and let me just throw real quick the top five albums all time. Led Zeppelin, two, um, Grateful Dead, any one of their albums. I mean, honestly, because they're such a dope band. But um, um, Talking Heads song remains the same. Soundtrack, top five album. Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt
Yeah,
is in my top five albums of all time because to me that's a fucking masterpiece.
it
It's a
is.
true masterpiece of work, craftsmanship. This is dope. And then I would probably have to say the other one would be it's a hard one too. I don't know the last one. I'll think on it. It'll come to me.
Um, the Doors.
Not that I do love the Doors, and there's a lot of great Doors. I Eminent flipped the Doors song for me.
Oh, word,
People,
word.
people are strange, strange. People are strange. When you're a stranger, it's fucking fire beat, bro. The beat is stupid.
You used it already?
No, 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 man. Bro. Here's the thing. I'll drop this on it. I have so many flips from Eminent. I have been getting flips from him like, what do you think about this track? Rock and roll, hip hop, anything, commercial, and anything, bro. What do you think you could do with this? And he will fucking flip that shit, bro. And I got fucking probably, I'm not even exaggerating, 25 beats of flips that nobody has flipped, bro. When they drop, they're gonna be like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yo, they're fire, bro. I'll tell you when we stop recording. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what it's about. The two because it's two mixtapes. It's two mixtapes.
I
Yeah, and
definitely.
they're almost all written, and these aren't freestyle off the dome mixtapes. These are dedicated mixtapes. Like I asked for these specific type of beats, and he
Okay, some
came through. Oh, came
concepts.
through. Man, these shits are stupid, bro.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna need some previews.
Yeah, man, the beats are fucking crazy. Yeah, if we could somehow like when we get through here, we'll link back up on like the gram. You know what I mean? I can share screen, boom, and I can play the beats. I'll play you the beats, bro. Because when you hear me, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck, T.O.? I'm about to drop some stupid shit." Me
Yo,
and him,
word.
and I'm making the albums, mixtapes. They're with him. It's Teal the Stat and him in it, the Strategic Mind. You know what I mean? And I told him if you want to spit on any of the beats, please do. Because this is the concept I have in mind. Are you okay with that? And he's like, "Yeah, I'm cool with that." And so boom, I got two tapes coming on. Mixtapes that are dedicated imminent production, imminent strategic mind tapes. Chill the stat.
All right, I like that. Like Strategic Minds Volume 1, Volume 2, or something like that.
No, dude, they're I'm not. I'll tell you the name afterwards too. The one
Yeah,
is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, 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 yeah. I got you.
But
That.
because this is my thing, man. And I heard one of my because I've been working with the Rulers Inc. producers. You know what I mean? Fire. I got fucking 8 beats from them dudes. Whew, cinematic and uh uh through Mr. Ripley, you know what I mean? Mr. Ripley, through bars and beats, I've met these dudes, you know what I'm saying? And they're a dope conglomerate of producers, bro. Rulers Inc. I got 8 beats from them. I got a fucking mean tape. It's already written. I just got to get in and record it now. It's fire, bro. Fire, 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 fire.
Yeah, I'm amped for you. You know what I
You
mean?
know what I mean? So I like giving producers because I heard, speaking of this is what I was saying. So my Cinematic, he's a dope producer. If you never heard him, 777 Cinematic on Graham, yo, he's fire, bro. So I've been working with him a little bit, obviously in this producer thing. And he said, man, I was kind of sick. People don't give me my credit. I'm like, fuck that, bro. Like, you look at every single track I've ever fucking released. Eminent Productions is credited when he made the beat. J Slug 500 credited with him and taking their piece of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yo,
you have to give it to the producer. I'll be
respect,
honest, you
respect.
have to.
I love people do. They'll say something like, "Oh, we just give you credit." But then if you
Uh,
it doesn't say the producer, then you didn't give them credit. You gotta be for free. You didn't even shout out. Like what?
but this is the thing, though. A lot of producers, I don't know if they know, producers, they got to have their shit registered on an ASCAP or a BMI or something in which they have their publishing. They have their
Exactly.
paperwork. They got to have their paperwork in line too at that. You know what I
Because
mean?
it's
So
business.
absolutely, you can only get more than credit on a beat if you present paperwork and say this is the number I'm using. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? And like that's business right there. And,
Yeah,
and and here's the thing: Imminent never asked for it. He don't even care. You would say, I was like, man, I couldn't do it. You're too dope, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you got to give. And I'll tell you, a woman named Champagne had taught me that. You know what I mean? She's like, you, no matter what you do, you always give the producer their credit and their beat and their percentage, because they get a percentage of the beat, the royalties, the rights, the all of that belongs to them.
the
And it
publishing.
does.
I'm glad
Publishing,
you realized
they
that.
got their publishing in line. They can take half the publishing. That's why it's 200%. Because you each
Exactly.
you can take 100 apiece. You know what I mean? 100%, because 100% of the beat is his, and 100% of the song is mine because it's the lyrics and the beat. His is just the beat, but both are credited, and people don't know this. And so I
Yeah.
try to always give producers their fucking credit, financially and fucking. I shout them out. I try to tag them, invite them, make sure their name's standing out. You know what I mean? Because I value that. Because let's be realistic. Without the producer, I don't got nothing to
Freestyle.
spin on anyways.
Yeah.
We're
Air.
beatboxing. I'm beatboxing and like I was in the ninth grade again, hitting on tables. You know what I mean? Oh, and
Yeah.
without the engineer, you just have a fucking bunch of racket on a microphone when you really listen to it. You know what I mean? It's not
Exactly.
mixed. And then without the DJ, it ain't going out. So like those are the three most important people to an MC:
You
the
have to
producer, the engineer, and the fucking DJ.
you
And
have
you
to
should
show
buy.
each other love.
You have to give love. And if you can't financially take it, offer it for whatever reason, it has to be an ongoing, constant. You're making videos of their shit when they're playing your shit. You're constantly showing love. You have to, because it's a necessity. You got to push them too, because they're pushing you. And
Say that again, please. Say some people I don't understand that. Say it again for the people in the back.
I mean, for real though, like, and I know this because I'm on a lot of mixtapes. I build with a lot of fucking DJs, man. And anytime my song's on a fucking DJ mixtape, a mix show, a song, whatever it is, bro, I immediately. Not only am I already listening to most of their podcasts, anyways, because they're fire. Their mixtapes on whatever the mixer or whatever. You know what I mean? Um, but I then record it of me listening to it, put it out as a content, promote that DJ, and push it out onto my fan base, because I want all of my fans listening to DJ fucking Mikey G, DJ Ant One, you know what I mean? Sixth Floor Show. These are dope shows, bro. Like Icky Crate Show, Bars and Beats. These are fucking shows that all MC right now, because this is the modern day K Slay and Young Amsterdam is another one I fuck with,
Air it out radio.
and DJ King Freeman, VR, Air It Out Radio, Fire Chick. These are all people that
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
building with. You know what I mean? This is how your music is out there. But if you're an MC, I don't know if you've ever, when you hear your song on one of their mixtapes, it's the best. That's that intrinsic reward we were talking about earlier. You know what I mean? I don't do this music shit for fans. I don't care about the streams. I have millions of streams, literally. It don't net a lot of money. When I hear my fucking song on, Hip Hop Ain't Dead, volume fucking 68, I'm like, oh shit. And it's the opening track on the King Freeman mixtape. That to me is like, that's success, bro. Man, I gotta fucking drop that. He mixes it up, cuts it up, does his fucking thing with it. Or
That
Mikey
feels
G,
great.
man, it's the best feeling in the world. That's what I do it for. Mikey G spins it, fucking Icky Crates drops it in, or fucking Cut Supreme, or one of these guys, Jive Supreme, Glib Styles. These are fucking DJs right now that are pushing the envelope with hip hop underground, especially, and boom bap. You know what I mean, son? On a level of literally who kid, if you're from that era of hip hop, that's what's going on again right now, and it's been, but people don't give the recognition it deserves, bro. These DJs are spinning fucking dope shit, bro. And this is how
Shout out
I
to the
built with a lot
DJ.
of fucking shout out to the DJs, bro. I'm on the 6-4 show right now. It's an exclusive with Hard Times. I'm sending the EPK out to a lot of DJs. I've been building with a lot of DJs, so I'm gonna have records spinning on their shit right now. King
Elite
Flow's another
DJ.
one. Shouts out King Flow. He's one of the first people that ever put me on a DJ mixtape.
Yeah, hey.
Mixtape
King
addict,
Flow
dog. For
again. What
real,
up, King
son.
Flow?
King Flow's the man, son. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And here's the thing: I've been building with him for a minute, and you know what I mean. When I get to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go, it's takeoff season with King Flow, because he's not only a dope DJ, he's a
Producer.
fucking producer. On top of that, he's an entrepreneur in a sense where he has linked and got his syndicated network in like fucking 500 countries or some shit, bro. And it's spinning on fucking crazy radio stations, and it's on mad fucking, mixtape addicts is everywhere, bro. To me, I remember that when I was like 21, 22 years old, bro. You see a mixtape addicts, it was like brand new. I was a kid, son. I was in college. I wasn't even thinking about spitting bars. And now the dude that does it is putting my joint on it. Best feeling in the world, bro.
I've
That is
done this
why I
joint a
spit
couple
bars.
times too.
Yeah, I love all them guys, bro. But I constantly build with them. I'm in their chats with them. Rap Nerd Radio is another guy. D Sick, awesome dude. Fucking Indie Nation, my guy at Indie Nation, I'm building with, awesome dude. And artists, if you're listening, these are all places you should be building with too. These are DJs that respect hip hop, love hip hop, push hip hop, and if you spit hip hop, they will fucking gravitate with your shit if it's dope, dude.
DJ
It's got to be
TV
at a certain
Alley.
level. Yeah, these are all people you should be building with. Everyone I'm naming, because these are fucking individuals right now that are the ones doing it in hip hop. Period.
You gotta
Detroit,
understand that.
my Detroit Hustle's another one. Dope dude. My boy Tone Show. Okay, there's so many I've been building with. I love it, bro. This is what I'm doing it for, Reeves. Like, a lot of people want the money a bag. Bro, I have like 13 million streams. It doesn't net a lot of money. I make more money fucking as a carpenter. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about money. I want to fucking be up there with the names we was talking about earlier on top 5 album type shit.
Yeah.
Someday to some kid, you know what I mean, son? Or some person. Not because I'm who I am, because I'm really nothing, and I say it in this album too. I'm just I am humble. If you look at it, could be a piece of shit or could be the polished turd on the block. You know what I mean? Something, either way, it's still a piece of shit. You know what I mean? God. But what it comes down to is I want to be the album where people are like, yo, that lyrically, like you said, your delivery. These are the things that make me do this.
The vocal, and you will, long as you keep putting out albums like that where you're not afraid to say how you feel, you're not afraid to just
Well,
be
yeah,
you,
yeah,
and you care about the craft. And people who don't care about the craft, it shows in the music. That music, there's a place for everything. There's a place for that music. There's people,
absolutely,
and the people who that music is aimed at is people who don't really care about music anyway.
right, right. I
They
like the
they like the
Sonics.
spectacle more than anything.
Right. They like to show the flashiness of naked men and women, and that's what they're attracted to, and money. Because
Yeah,
again, that's 85% of this
and
world,
drama
and drugs. You know what I mean? And so that's what most people are fucking attracted to, because that's what we're programmed to
and
think.
internet drama. Don't forget that.
And well, internet drama, see, drama is just a part of all of this flashiness, because it's what sells it. It's what keeps you coming back. It's what hypes you up. It's what keeps you going. You know what I mean? It's the natural speed that they're putting out there.
They love
This is
it.
all designed. This is all designed, man. Boom, 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 like to make you think. And that's what I say in the one track I do. The 85 percenters. You know, that whole track obviously is the 85 percenters. You're talking about the dumb, deaf, and the blind. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of people out there who don't know what's going on.
No, not 85%. 85%. I would say that 85 closer to, like I say in the track that we got. I think that 80. Wait, I think that 85 more like 80. Hey, no. So I say some shit like that in that Perfect Strangers track.
Word.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think that 85 more like, I think that 85% more like, wait, I think that 85 more like 98 or some shit
Yeah,
like
you
that.
said that.
Some shit like that. That's what I'm talking about. 85%. You know what I mean? The dumbed up and the blind. Because the whole song is people. I can't remember how I started it. I love that track, bro.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
can't
one.
wait. And that's to bring, as we build on this, we got to get back going with it because now I'm in a better spot, where I could actually sit down and dissect these beats and write to them. So what we got to do, because me, son, I like to talk and build with them when I as much as I can with another artist I'm working with, because I want your interpretation of the beat, mine, and then we come to the ground, so we come together on it, especially the project we're trying to do. You know what I mean?
Definitely, definitely.
So
We
we got to
gonna
get
talk
back on
more on
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah, we got
We
to talk
got to
more on
that.
that. Yeah,
That's definitely gonna be in the 26.
yeah. It's
I was trying to
2026.
25 at first, but I got
Perfect
some stuff
Strangers.
going on my end too, so that's probably gonna be more in the 26.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
And I
it's
would say,
still gonna be dope.
a fair bet would be like Q3 of 26 would be nice because then we can get it slowly recorded, get together, put the skits together, make the whole concept come together.
Yeah,
Oh,
have the project and everything.
yeah, exactly. And do something where we can fucking do something cool with it. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm trying to always tap into it's more than now to me than just writing the music because that's easy for me to do. Realistically, now I'm thinking like, how can we put some video with it, the content that expresses it, physically and like in either a picture form or artwork form or some sort of a multimedia form. You know what I mean? Tap into that creative representation of what I just wrote. You know what I mean?
I'm with you all the way. Real quick, last question before
Last
we out.
question. Yeah, yeah.
Because other than that, this might end up going for another
I
27
mean,
hours. You know how we
my
do.
guy, we can talk. We're gonna link again. If you want to hear them beats, I'll quickly play a couple for you on the IG when we get done.
Definitely, definitely. I'm with
Yeah,
that.
and nobody's heard him. You'll be the only other person that's heard these beats, bro.
Oh, thanks, thanks. I'm with that.
On guys, son.
What would you rather be? Uh, indie artist or a major label artist, and why?
Indie artist or major label. I'd rather be. Honestly, I like being an indie artist for the simple fact that again, I can do my own thing, because I'm already coming up against the water, so I want to
Yeah.
be able to just do me. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Get the fuck out of here. Don't say it ain't hip hop and don't say it ain't raw. Because I question on that, you know what I mean? So I like to have that mentality and that attitude from when I put work out there and just do what I want to do, and have my creative freedom. You know what I mean? The problem is I also with that, again, I
Oh, oh shit. Um, and I was talking about that creative. I'm talking about the technical difficulties, and that was that. Technical difficulties like a mug, boy. I tell you, I did not see that one coming. And yeah. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, fellas and women. Um, yeah, that was supposed to happen, but friend to the show, Tiola Stat will be back. And check them out online, check them out on SoundCloud, check them out on Instagram, and check me out, ReevesENT.com, Vibing with Reeves. Look out for the mental health album. Check it out. SoundCloud. Follow him on Instagram. And y'all stay up. Yeah. Wait a minute, hold up, hold up.
yo 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 yo.
Yo, 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 what up?
My phone died, God.
Back. Yeah, I was like, always like,
My
you
phone died. I was like, I'm looking, I'm like, damn, it starts to slow down. I'm like, damn, it sounds fun. I was like, fucking died.
word
But I know I'm trying to think of the last thing I said was
about being an indie artist. Why you rather
oh,
be an
indie
indie
artists. Yeah,
artist?
because you can do your own creativity. And the problem is you got to fund that shit yourself too a lot of times, and you got to work also to get the funding. You know what I mean? And you got to or come up with money somehow. You know what I mean? And you're doing a lot of the things yourself, so it's hard. So that would be nice to be where that was all paid for. Because it's not like it's just given to you. You pay, they give it to you, and they take their cut back before you get yours, anyways. So
Exactly.
because I'm not in it to make money. That's the thing about it is that's kind of different. I don't need it to make money. You know what I mean? I literally I was a teacher. I can't anymore because of my current situation. But I was a teacher for a long time. I got a pension coming from New York State and Arizona. You know what I mean? And fucking, I'm a carpenter, and that's where I make a good chunk of my money, like really good money. So it's like I need to do that because that's what allows me to do music. You know what I mean? Because I
Exactly.
fund this all myself. I put every dollar on myself. And you're talking beats, studio time, marketing, um, fucking engineering, video. All that. If I wasn't, I did pay the videos before, and then I started doing it myself with some dude fucked me over. So it's hard. It's a hard gig. You got to be resilient, and you got to be fucking self-driven.
Exactly.
You know.
Got to be driven.
If I could ask, what would you like? Because you're a dope indie artist and producer. What would you
Thanks.
rather be?
Shoot. I think indie. I mean, basic, basically for the same things that you said, and I don't see a major label at this point letting me do what I want to do the way I want to do it.
No, I don't. I don't.
Creative expression is big
Same.
with me. Creative
Yeah,
freedom is big with me. You
yeah.
know,
Freedom of your thoughts, and because I know that's why I like your production because you do you. Your style is you. You know what I mean? And when a Reeves beat come on, I'm like, the beat I'm talking about too.
oh
You
yeah,
know the beat I'm talking about, guy.
I
I'm like,
do.
damn, that shit is fucking funky, bro.
Thanks. I try
I
to.
smash on them beat, dog.
I love the funk joints, man. And I and I have so many different styles, but let's be
You
real.
do.
Music industry is not always. And a lot of times it's about music freedom. It's about formulaic cookie cutter. This is what works, so you do it.
Hmm.
But
That's a lot of any. Unfortunately, that's capitalism's greatest defeat is producing more of the same and selling it at a better rate. And, and that's what capitalism is, you know what I mean?
yeah, you
Instead
don't
of
even look
producing
at why it
creative thoughts
works.
and pushing it.
Say that again.
Capitalism is more kind of like producing more of the same and selling it for a better rate.
Exactly.
And so the opposite would be communism, where it's like the government is like, you're going to just do all this for us. You're not going to get any of the rewards for your creative thought, which is what they do too. So it's like people think we live in a capitalist we don't, man. We live in a capitalist communist country. We actually live in an oligarchy that's fighting with the fucking dictatorship of a government because they both want to control fucking legislation and how money is introduced to the people, and that's a fact. And so that's what we're struggling in the United States, at least most of the world. Not a free,
Yeah.
we're not free country, so we that's the thing about it. We do our own thing. And that's why I like it because I'm already coming up the stream. Like I said, you know what I mean. I'm a Caucasian fella. You know what I mean. I'm an Italian dude, and a predominantly African American, and rightfully so, predominantly African American. Sport. You know what I mean? Because it is, and so I got to step extra hard, bro. I got to come extra nasty. I got to do me more than anybody else because I'm not trying to be anybody, and you know this, but me. You know what I mean? And again, if you don't like me, you can get the fuck from me, man. It ain't bothering me. It sounds like a you problem, my dude. Fuck off me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You
I'm gonna
got
do
it.
my thing.
You gotta be. We gotta
Yeah,
do this.
you have to be.
You have to be yourself. You have
Gotta
to
be
be
yourself.
confident. And I like that you're down. You recognize where it came from, and you're saying, "Yo, your respect for the craft is so much in the art
I
form."
respect the crap absolutely because Yeah, you're absolutely, you hit it on the head, man. I respect the craft because music to me, when I think music again, because I'm an appreciate, I'm a well-studied person that appreciates fine arts, music, crafts. This is something I value. You know what I mean? And to me, arts have has music is a part of the arts, right? And arts have absolutely no color designation whatsoever. This is why you can have or sex designation. You can have men, women, they're straight, they're gay, they're white, they're black, they're Asian. It doesn't matter because music is universal. It's one of the only universal languages. You know what I mean? And so I don't care about none of that shit. I just do my style, how the beat hits me and tells me what to say. That's what I give. And I appreciate the value of that, because I appreciate the beat breakdown, like you said. I like dissecting the beat and the wordplay, the motion, the movement, the cadence. Oh, what I'm going to stress and not stress, you know what I mean? And then dropping the ad libs on them. That's my shit. So I'm like, it makes me feel like a person, and it's the best community I've ever been a part of, and most welcome community that I can be myself. Because my whole life as a teacher, you think I could be this dude as a teacher? I was to certain teachers, but not as a whole. I wasn't Teal. That wasn't Top fucking Pitts, son. I was Mr. Pitts. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? You're a
yeah.
mask in life.
I can see you wouldn't certain things wouldn't fly. You
Uh
know,
huh.
I can see what certain things wouldn't fly. They'd be like, nah, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, Mister
Absolutely.
Pitts.
Professionalism. And when you go into a job of such magnitude, you got to go in that way because kids are looking up to you. So imagine, remember I told you earlier, these two kids that got a hold of me. Imagine if I was an asshole, I was a slob or some fucking scumbag. I would have passed this on to these kids, and that's what they would think would be fucking either admirable or it would have been a negative impact on them. So I just be myself, and I'm unapologetically feel with that too, son. It's like I'm sorry if it offends you, but I'm not fucking sorry. I'm not sorry for what I say because everything I speak on, I have facts to support. I'm not talking on my ass no shit, son, ever. And if I can't speak on it, I'll say, yo, let me get back to you, and I'll go do the research, and then
Exactly.
come talk and
That's
educated conversation with you because I value people's opinions and beliefs and what they hold true because it could switch my belief system. You never know, man. If it's better than what I think and it's more right and correct, then you have to be able to, as a person, that's a better fucking way to do things. Do it that way. That's and the constructive criticism you hit on earlier. When you said to me like, "Don't be so angry," I'm like, "I am fucking angry." Ah, and I'm like, "Oh, it's not so much better." Like you said, I mean, like that's how you build, develop as an individual. This is just life lessons. I'm dropping gems. We dropping gems on Reeves.
of course. That's part of the reason, and they have it. And I'm gonna hit you later. We're gonna hear those beats and tell them where they can find you again.
I am on all right now streaming platforms as T.O.Lestat, T.O. Lestat. You know what I mean? I'm T.O. underscore Lestat on Instagram and TikTok and Threads. You know what I mean? And then T.O. Lestat on Facebook and X. You know what I mean? So I post on every site. You catch something different on every one of them too. I'm building a website right now, so I'll hit that with them too. But pretty soon I'm gonna be on what's called Own Lane. I'm gonna move all my shit exclusively to the Own Lane, and it's gonna be a better fan interaction with the artist fan, and it's gonna be more beneficial to them and myself. So we're
All
gonna get
right,
more out of this music, even more with Own Lane.
that sounds dope. Sounds dope. We're gonna chop it up about
Yeah,
that later
yeah. I'll tell you
on
about
the.
that
You
because
know what
that's
I
still
mean?
almost bubbling up. It's almost ready.
Because I heard about On Lane too, so we definitely gonna do our little
Yeah, it's
combo
fire.
1 2 on that.
We'll be
But
putting it out. My boy. I'm gonna promote it with my boy. It's not my product. I'm not gonna take blame for it. It's my boy. It's Cracker Rican's got a head in this big time. You know what I mean? And it's a very honestly like common sense, normal thing for all artists to want to do because it's like what we see right now is we're letting them do this to us.
yeah,
We let them do this. We give them our music with contracts that say we can now take your shit, make AI out of it, whatever we want. You can't do shit about it. It's our music now, your music, your content, your everything. We do this on social media, streaming services. They own all that when you put it out there. We go through distribution. They own the ISRC. We go through, you know what I mean? Like these are things that we already let them do. And then we say, on top of that, we pay them for it, right?
yeah.
And then we say, okay, I'm cool with you taking 99.7%. Give me 0.03.
But only if I sell a certain amount of records first.
Only if I hit a certain where you make an exuberant amount of money, and I don't. So like we let them do this, and we don't have to. And I think there's a big push, and I'm saying this to all artists too, because I know several artists that I follow, like more established artists. I'm not going to go into the names and shit, but you know, they're moving over to the same mechanism, hand to hand, son. Fuck these streaming services. These fake white who's, what I mean, are stealing everything. And it's like, enough is enough, dude. Like, you're not gonna take my creative work, take it for yourself when you have no creative fucking bone in your body and you think you're gonna profit 1,000,000% on me? Absolutely not. My creativity is worth something. I'll give it to fans for $3.99 a fucking album before I put it on a streaming service, bro. Because I'm still, believe it or not, making more per fucking track, you know me, per fucking song. It's true.
Hey man,
$4. How many streams you gotta get to make
I've
$4?
seen them numbers. I'm seeing them numbers, man. First time I saw a check with streaming, I'm like, what's this? What's this, a shilling? I'm getting less than a penny out this month. What the fuck is
Bro,
this?
some of 0.003. Facebook or Instagram, how they say TikTok, 0.0007 cents. That's what they're paying the artists to use their fucking music, dude. Like, why are we giving them this? Why are we giving them our music and letting them own our fucking ISRC copy code distribution information? They own it. Like, you can own your own. This is what artists should be doing: owning their own ISRCs and codes, putting it out in their own websites, and putting it directly to fans. And yeah, it's going to hurt a little more with recognition, but you're going to build with real people. Because that takes work, man. You got to build with DJs, podcasters, fucking interviewers, radio hosts, bloggers. You have to do the work then. And that's what people don't want, especially with AI.
Oh, that's almost a whole nother. That could be a whole nother episode about the good, the bad, and the strange, and the dangerous
You
when it
know
comes to
what?
that shit.
We'll talk that when we get you on shooting the shits, because I could get you on shooting the shits whatever day you want, bro.
I'm with it.
You
I'm
let
with
me
it.
know. We'll go on it.
I'm gonna stay up with you on that one because
I'm going to hit up Cracker Rican later.
yeah, because he was saying he invited me on there anyway.
You should
So
be on it, bro,
just a
because you're the
reminder.
definition of who he wants to interview. An entrepreneur, a hardworking man, self-made, pushing his own brand. You are the definition, because in the average, not the average, but the average individual that's doing that type of work. You know what I mean? You represent a good specimen of it. We're not the average person, but the ones that are willing to put the work in, because that's a small population of us, bro.
Yeah, sure.
We'll
Yeah,
put that
but
work in.
you too. You're a grinder too. I always see you
I'm a
working
grinder.
and network. I said, look at this guy.
I am a
He
grinder.
gets it. He
And
gets
I'll
it.
tell you some of the best shit I ever did. Because I build with some dope ass fucking, not only DJs and producers. Like, I met, bro, he by Stan the Man. I don't, like, to me, when he was like, yo, you want to get some beats? I was like, are you kidding me right now? He's like, I love your flow. He's fucking with my shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, Heat by Stan the Man. He's one of the fucking greatest producers out there. He's got shit with everybody, bro. From way back in the day. Like, dope producer. So I was like, yeah, I got you. Boom, we got beats going. I got shit with that. And so what it comes down to is, like, when you start fucking putting the work in, you meet cool people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
And if you meet cool people that are like minded, hopefully they're on the same level. Like, well, let's not just here's this, here's that. Like, I'm doing a joint with Lefty Pacino right now. Shouts out to my guy Lefty Pacino. You know what I mean?
Shout out, shout
We
out.
got we already did the Crystal Clear joint he dropped. That shit is fire. But we got another joint. I'm not gonna give too much on it, but it is a track like no one has ever heard before, bro. Me and him are going stupid on this thing, bro. And it's like something pushing the limits, because I was like, "What do you think about this?" And I gave him my idea, and he's like, "Well, what do you think about if we added like this?" And we went back and forth, fucking via email, not only in an Instagram, ideas and how can we do this one track. Then we went back and forth and have been going back and forth emails. Here's my verse for this. Here's my verse for this. And then okay, yep, that's right, boom, 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 and we go, so I can read his shit while I'm spitting my shit. So in cohesion, it's fucking stupid, bro. Shouts out
Man,
Lefty
see,
Pacino.
yeah, that's
Fire
dope right
MC.
there. How
Yeah.
many joints y'all did together?
We already have one. We're working on our second, but you know what I mean? I'm gonna see him on the big stage type shit, because he's a fucking grinder too, man. And I've been building with a lot of cool people like Streets the Villain, Merge the MC, the Rulers Inc., Ripley's, fucking, um, I be fucking heavy. I don't know if you know who Black Silk is, female MC. She's fire, bro.
Where's she
Shady
from?
Wire to me is like one of the dopest MCs out there. I don't even say female MC. She's a fucking dope MC. She's a bar spitter, bro. And
Who
she
got
is
here?
rough like Buffalo. She ain't fucking playing. She's dope. So I'm cool. I love that you brought her up earlier.
We're and on that note, we are
We're gonna be out of here. That's vibing. That's vibing with Reeves, man.
He's vibing heavy.
As always, my guy.
Salute.
Keep doing your thing.
You do the
love
same.
I love seeing you do your thing. It encourages me to do mine.
Same. Ditto. It is all real. It's all love, homie.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll holler at you later, bro.
Holler later.
Yep.
Stay up. Reeves ENT. Vibing. Y'all know what it is.
Vibing with Reeves.
Fridays. And check Till the Stat out. Check Reeves out. Check us out. Perfect Strangers coming next year.
I apologize.
Stay up. Good.
Say it again.
Perfect Strangers coming next year, 2026.
No. That album we know, but when is this episode airing?
This?
Next week, right?
Yeah.
We'll get on that because I want to grab the tape and then we'll cut video. All right. I'm slowing his shit down, son. I'm just so stoked to be on this show again, bro.
Stoked to have you. Yeah.
Yeah.